Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again, and for today's video I'm going to share one more team in the hoenncup, which is going to be a showcase of Dusclops. So Dusclops is really a good pick in this meta because it have got access to Ice Punch and Poltergeist. So previously it was only having access to Shadow Punch, and if it's a purified form then Return as well, but Poltergeist does give it a bit of coverage and really good like nuke potential on some of the matchups over here. So that is the reason I thought of using this Dusclops in this scenario, and since it is having access to Ice Punch, it does cover flyers, dragons and grass as well, to which I'm pairing it up with Swampert because all the weaknesses that Swampert have got can be neutralized or can be handled by Dusclops over here. So they too make a really good duo to play it out in the hoenncup, and the final Pokemon that I'm going to use out in this team is going to be my Shadow Sableye, which I've already showcased how good and how strong this Shadow Sableye is in this meta. So this is the thought process that I had while building this team up, and with this team I went up straight to positive sets, first being 3-2 and the next being 4-1, which I'm going to showcase right now. So without further more delay, let's quickly jump into the battles and check out how this team performed. So now moving into the first battle, I pick up a lead against Gardevoir. This is really a good lead because as you guys can see, this Hex will really add up onto this Gardevoir because it's part Psychic as well, and my Sableye is not actually facing this, to which now they tried to catch Ice Punch onto their Sableye, but I'll be going for the Poltergeist that does 75% of its health, and it's really good, and to which I'll be now safe swapping counter swiping out into my Swampert over here, to which I'll be putting the shield onto the first foul play, and now I'll be trying to get the heart farm onto this Sableye, which I do perfectly, and now I've got almost 2.5 hydro cannons loaded for whatever they are coming in with. So they again comes back with their Gardevoir, to which they will not appreciate this hydro cannons going through. So now I'll be going for the first cannon, which gets out the first shield, and now I'll be going for the next one. So this might get the final shield from my opponent's end, which it does, and from this kind of range again I'm able to reach to the third hydro cannon that will be taking out this Gardevoir over here. So Swampert doing what Swampert does, it took out 2 shields, it knocks out the Gardevoir, and the final Pokemon that my opponent is going to have access to is going to be the very bulky Registeel over here, to which I'll be shielding up this Zap Cannon, because now if I shield the Zap Cannon, I'll get the debuff. Obviously I'll get it, but I'll be able to get this Poltergeist off in this scenario, which it does a bit of damage, and now from this kind of range they cannot actually one shot my Sableye over here with Zap Cannon or maybe Focus Blast, so they cannot do it. And now after the debuff as well onto the Sableye, I'm able to reach to the next foul play, which does enough damage to get the knockout for this low Registeel and get the win for the first battle. So GG's to my opponent, really well played. Now moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Linnone. So this is a very tough thing to handle because it does have got access to Shadow Claw that hits for super active damage onto this Dusclops, and it have access to Grass Knot and Thunder that will be dealing super active damage to my Swampert as well. So this is a really tough thing to handle because it core breaks my Swampert and my Dusclops core, to which after landing the first Ice Punch, I'll be safe swapping into, not safe swap, but it's a counter swap into my own into my Sableye over here, to which now I'll be going for the next foul play. So foul play from this kind of range will be almost taking out the Linnone, which it does, and from this kind of scenario they will be going for one more Grass Knot. So my win condition over here is somehow the Swampert over here, because if I get the farm down onto this Linnone, I'll be having so much energy loaded onto my Sableye over here. And what with the next Pokemon is going to be, I have to look out, which is going to be their mirror Sableye. And now I'll be going for the back-to-back foul plays over here, which this Sableye, which is a purified form, will not appreciate. And since I farmed out the Linnone, it's a really good thing because I can go for back-to-back foul plays and get those 2 shields down, and from this kind of scenario they might get the farm down with Shadow Claws, but they were not counting, so I was actually 2 Shadow Claws away from the foul play, but I'm fine with it because they went for the foul play to take my Sableye out, and now I'll be coming back with my own Swampert, and I'll be now swapping into my own Dusclops to soak this energy up, which ends up being the foul play and get the knockout. And this is really good because now I'll be outpacing the Swampert to the next Hydro Cannon, to which they tried to catch the Hydro Cannon onto the edge steel, but I hold on to the energy really good, and they will be now getting hit with the next Earthquake that just nukes out the Registeel over here, and now I've got a loaded Hydro Cannon over here, which does enough damage to get the knockout for this Sableye as well, and get the win for the second battle for me in this scenario. So GG's. Moving on to the third battle, I pick up a tough lead yet again with Zangoose. Zangoose is a very glassy Pokemon, but it really hits like a truck, to which now I'll be going for the first Ice Punch, which is neutral and non-stab as well, but as you guys can see, it does a lot of damage in this scenario, to which now I think they will be now going for the next Night Slash, but since I'm very bulky, I can handle one Night Slash over here, and I'll be again now going for the next Ice Punch. So Ice Punch might draw out the first shield from my opponent's end, which it does, and now I'll be safe swapping again. It's not a safe swipe, it's counter swap into my Sableye over here. So Sableye with energy is really good, so they'll be going for the first Night Slash that hits for neutral in this scenario, and now I'll be shielding up the next Night Slash and using up my first shield. And the thing that I did over here is the mistake that might cost me that will cost me the game, because I overfarmed in this scenario by 1 Shadow Claw and they win CMP tie over me, to which all the energy which I have got loaded onto my Sableye goes to waste, and this Zangoose is really ramping up on its attack, ramping up on its energy right now with Shadow Claw. They again went for the Night Slash, to which I'll be putting out the final shield, and I'll be going for the Heart Farm, and to which now let's see what the final Pokemon, or maybe what the next Pokemon they have got access to. It's going to be Defense Deoxys, which is really good in this scenario as well, and I'll be going for the next Hydro Cannon that almost took half of its health, and I'll be going for the next Hydro Cannon of my own once again. So this might put in a farm down range with the Mud Shot, and I tried to catch one Psycho Boost onto my Dusclops, which went out horribly, and now they will be going for the next foul play, which does take my very low Swampert out, which ends up being a loss to me, and very well played from my opponent's end. GG's. Moving on to the next matchup, I pick up a lead against this Defense Deoxys over my Dusclops, which is really good. To which now they'll be going for the next. I think they are running Thunderbolt, which hits for neutral damage, but it not hits very hard because Defense Deoxys is defense weighted, and I am very bulky as well. To which now they will be safe swapping into their own Registeel, which will be getting hit with the Poltergeist over here, and now I'll be again swapping out into my own Swampert over here to hard resist whatever they are running with their Swampert. So one Zap Cannon does not take me out, one Focus Blood does not take me out. So I'm I'm in a safe scenario right now. So I'll be getting the farm down with Mud Shot, and whatever they are coming back in with, I'll be having one loaded Hydro Cannon to get some kind of chip damage in this scenario, and the final Pokemon ends up being Altaria. So it's a very common line over here, which is Defense Deoxys, Altaria, and Registeel, which is really fine, but to which I've got a kind of good response with my Dusclops over here onto this Altaria, because I'm having extra Ice Punch. So that is a thing which I mentioned in the introduction, that having Ice Punch on Dusclops is really good because it does handle grass, flyers, and dragons, which Swampert does struggle to. And they since let the next Ice Punch go through, to which I'll be now coming back and loading up on energy with my Sableye over here and getting putting up my final shield, because what they have left is only the Defense Deoxys, and one Thunderbolt does not knock out the Sableye from this kind of scenario, because I'll be able to reach to the next back-to-back foul plays after surviving the first next Thunderbolt over here in this scenario, which will be knocking out the defense Deoxys from that kind of health as well, giving me the win for the fourth battle in this set over here. So really well played, really meta team over here, which this team can handle as well. Moving into the final battle of the video and the set, I pick up a kind of good lead over here with Altaria, and since I'm having access to Ice Punch, this makes really good, because if they want to get this match out, they have to put out both their shields down. Then only they can flip this matchup around, and I'll be going for the back-to-back Ice Punch over here in this scenario that hits for almost 50% of his health. And now from this kind of scenario, I am willing to shield. I'm willing to shield first this Sky attack, and now I'm able to reach to the next Ice Punch. So if they're wanting to shield, be it, so they cannot farm me down from this kind of scenario, because they have to throw one Sky attack to take me out. Otherwise, I'll be able to reach to the next Ice Punch, which will be very much troublesome for them. So now they'll be going for the next Sky attack that does takes me out, and now I'll be coming back with my own Sableye. So when shields are down, Sableye goes to town over here, and I'll be shielding up the next Sky attack. And what I'm reading, they are having access to Walrein in the back, because with Altaria, Walrein fits a really good counter, which I was absolutely correct, because Walrein and Altaria really makes up a good core. But nevertheless, I have access to Power Gem over here that will be hitting and almost taking out the Walrein over here, and one Icicle Sphere does not get the knockout for me as well. To which I'll be now quickly swapping out into my own Swampert over here to get Iron Energy, and the final Pokemon is revealed to be the Defense Deoxys that does have access to Psycho Boost, Thunderbolt and Rock Slide, which is not threatening from this kind of scenario, and I'm able to win CMP tie over the Defense Deoxys every time, and they realize that and concedes the match in this scenario, giving me the win for the fifth battle here as well. So this team went on a 3-2 run and then a 4-1 run with Dusclops, Swampert and Sableye in the back, so which is really good. And if you're trying out this team for yourself, do let me know how it is working out for you, and I'll be back with new teams for the Hoenn Cup very soon once again. And that will be all for this video, and see you again in the next one. Till then, peace.